and good evening. Happy Saturday night, March 22nd, as we do this live. Welcome to Worldwide Ramblings. We'll say hello to Tess J, Brenda, Richard Lyon, the Grand Patriarch, who just gave me some information I wasn't aware of, Heather Feather, and that's all there is right now that I know of. Many of you wishing me happy birthday, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Richard thinks it's my 100th birthday. Now, how could you think that, Richard, when I look so youthful? I look so youthful. Barbara Kendall is here. BK. Mike Fortner. There he is. There I am. There you go again. There you go again, looking better than a body has a right to. I think they're speaking about you, Richard. Yes, thank you, Heather. I appreciate that very much. Neo Neon is here. Neo Neon. He just glows. Sometimes it's like a lime green. Sometimes it's more of a purple tint. Welcome to you. We're going to be talking a little bit about Ann-Margret in just a sec. Just give me a minute or so to say hello. Miles Wright, hijacking everyone. And also, we'll have one of the best interviewers in the business that is not doing that much anymore, and it's a shame. Talking about Mr. Charlie Rose. We lost a slew of people. When I think mostly what we needed is a good apology and another chance, You can't find another Charlie Rose like you couldn't find another Walter Cronkite, like you couldn't find another Barbara Walters. Mike Fortner, well, my goodness, happy birthday, Jack. And he hits the thanks button for $20. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that so much. The month has been somewhat slow, but there's there's 10 days left. 31 days in March, right? Yeah. Why do I hesitate? Somebody was telling me their birthday was March 31st, and now I can't remember who. Donna Smith. Hello, Donna, from it's not Louisville, Kentucky, is it? Yeah, I'm thinking of the other place, Louisville, I'm thinking of, but that would be Louisville, Kentucky. We seem to get quite a nice response, Donna, from Louisville. What kind of place is Louisville? So thank you, Mike Fortner. Happy birthday, Jack, on the thanks button that you find below. I appreciate that very much. Yes, I have some birthday cake here. I wish I could just feed it to you. Karen made it this year, and the search for pineapple, especially at the last minute, they just don't sell it in the stores like they used to around here in New York. Comstock stopped making it, I guess, and down at the diner, you can't get pineapple filling or pineapple topping for your cheesecake anymore. Just wasn't, it used to be when I was a kid growing up in the 70s. That was the number one topping. If you're going to have cheesecake, you have pineapple topping. Entenmann's, Entenmann's? Entenmann's used to make a cheesecake, I think it was Entenmann's, with the pineapple filling underneath. I do remember that. And I remember kind of liking it, but I've found better cheesecake since then. Entenmann's, though, my favorite Entenmann's is the German chocolate cake with the marshmallow topping. That kind of icing, I don't like a heavy icing. That's mine. And Karen likes that chocolate on chocolate stuff. It's like putting chips in there. I don't need chocolate chips in my chocolate cake. Seems like it's from the Department of Redundancy department, and I just don't need it. I want to taste the cake, not the chips. The chips are for the cookies. Hello, Jack. Happy slightly late birthday. Yeah. Well, we had the party this afternoon because um, first I went to the diner in the afternoon, invitation of my friend Leon, and I'm going to talk all about that. But for those who tuned in for content, I shall get to it. Right, yeah. Hopefully, the commercials won't get in the way. If so, just bear with me. Charlie Rose certainly was one of the finest interviewers. He pops up here and there to this day in his older years. He was on PBS at 11 p.m. and like Tom Snyder, he was one of a kind, is one of a kind. And you can't replace him. So there was never anybody that good in late night again on PBS. So nobody watches. You threw away your talent instead of just having him make an apology for conduct unbecoming and move on. As Steve DeShabi says on the Dead Files, I know, Richard, now you listen. I know that every house and every person has secrets. And maybe Richard will tell us one of his secrets tonight. Don't do it now because I can't even see you. When I go to another screen, I can't see the chat. So hold off on your secrets. But just consider me, Richard, Father Jack. And this is just a confessional one on one. Nobody else is watching or listening. Let's see here. Ann-Margret is 83 years old now. And if I've got it right, she's in Kansas City this weekend. Unless that was an old post. I saw it today. She's in Kansas City at the Comic Con. She did a nice promo. She looks pretty good. She's obviously had work done and what have you, but at 83, she looks better than she might have looked in her late 70s. So she has had some work done and looks wonderful. And of course, she has a history with Elvis Presley. So we're just going to play a little excerpt here of Ann-Margret talking to Charlie Rose, the one and only. Uh, she doesn't like to talk about Elvis. She says she was only with him for a year. So let's check that out.
EP.
Yes.
Why are you so reluctant to talk about it? Even when I've watched you in conversation, it seems that there was about the two of you, kindred souls. You saw in each other something deep inside that you both knew you both had. And it's almost now as if you were trying to protect that.
Oh, yes.
What is it?
It was extremely special. It was very strong.
Strong in the what?
Our relationship was very strong and very serious and very real. We went together for 1 year, and he trusted me, and I do not want to betray his trust even in death.
What would be betraying his trust?
I knew him very, very well.
So if you pointed out weaknesses that you knew that would, because all of us have them, and if we have a love relationship, then we certainly know about them. If you do that, it would be a betrayal of him to tell the truth about whether it's about the best of him or the worst of him.
There's been so much written that has been negative about him. I wanted to celebrate his life. The man that I knew.
And what would you say to celebrate his life? The huge talent.
He was so gifted, and it makes me extremely angry that all of a sudden all these people who made fun of him right near his death, all of a sudden, posthumously, right after he passed on, were writing reams and reams of stories on him, how gifted he was. Why didn't they do that when he was alive?
So they could have saved his life.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you understand him very well because you grew up in North Carolina.
And that's the saddest thing about it. huge talent, thrown away, and friends were not there to save him from it?
I just cherish his memory. And so did my father and my mom and my friends. And I remember great times that we had and
What was good
his
about it?
generosity. And
I know he sent flowers, and you knew that he was dead when the flowers didn't arrive, because you always got the flowers when you had a new engagement shaped like a guitar, and that was the day.
It was unreal. It was just unreal. But I remember,
It's still hard for you.
because I'm real private. And he was too. I remember a time when when I was living in this apartment with my parents, and they were great. They were Danish. They were from Denmark. A sea captain and his wife. They were the landlords. And Mr. Jorgensen had passed away, and Mrs. Jorgensen was having a birthday, and Elvis had met her before, and he said, let's go and say happy birthday to her. And he just was so sensitive and considerate, and he knew about honor and about respecting your elders and manners and being civilized and
Worship the ground his mother walked on.
yes, and he loved his family, loved his parents. He loved his little daughter so much.
Why?
It's a little bit of Charlie Rose interviewing a much younger Ann-Margret. If you go to comiccon.com, you may be able to find out how to see her tomorrow in Kansas City. Let's see here. Yeah, I caught the North Carolina reference. I have no idea. She's saying that Charlie was from North Carolina and that she had roots there too. That's what she was saying, I believe. And this, of course, will bring people to ask, so, well, why are you saying that Elvis could still be alive? Because there's this incredible story out there. Most times when we hear someone fake their death, whether it be Jim Morrison saying he's a maintenance worker now in Syracuse, yet the maintenance worker in Syracuse came forth, I believe, and said, I'm not Jim Morrison. Whether it be JFK, MJ, or any J you want, you end up with scant information, really. But with the Elvis faked his death story, you end up with dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of things that you have to take a look at, oddities and what have you. And of course, you end up with a man who looks like him, who sounds like him, who has his mannerisms. Many say the scars and the veins line up, etc., etc. We cover all angles, including the idea that Pastor Bob Joyce could be the love child of Vernon Presley, perhaps conceived around the time that Elvis was actually in the army, maybe after Gladys's death. We don't know. For those who insist he couldn't possibly be 90. But there are so many things that if we are wrong about all of them, it is still a very incredible story. And I don't think you could ever find one even close to being like it. So that's what I have to say about that for now. No, I don't know Eddie Cruiser faked his death, Brenda. If I remember, I don't remember that. No, you talking about the group that sounded like Bruce Springsteen? Eddie and the Cruisers, were they? That comes to mind. But no, I think that a lot of the faked deaths are not real. But I think the story that we've been telling here since 2018, and it's been being told way before I started doing it, uh, is unique in the faked his or her death stories. I know there are people that are just prone to having a list of 10, 15 people that fake their death. And, God bless you. It's just not me. It's just not me. I was drawn to this story because I found one thing after another. Well, I used to play Eddie of the Cruisers. Nobody ever sounded more like Bruce Juice than they did. And but I know nothing about Eddie Cruiser, nothing. And the thing that I like about this story is that there are so many things to look at, so many things that make you say, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So I don't know. Hey, Jack, Gail Giorgio passed away in January of this year, and there is no news on Elvis Presley. There is no new news on Elvis Presley. I didn't know that. I thought I've heard that she passed away, but I'm going to look into that because I thought it was earlier than that, to be honest with you. So thank you for that information, Gail Brewer. And then I guess she married a Giorgio. So we'll have to look into that. Thank you. On the Elvis thing, Overbill Automotive. He's got too much under the hood. He does Overbill Automotive. See, you kept talking, so I got to try to catch up, and I could miss stuff. So, but that's fine. I just don't be mad at me if I miss your point, because when I'm on the other screen, obviously I'm focused on that, and I can't even see the chat. So let me go back here and see, because I could have missed some nuggets. All right, there's Mike Fortner with his orange $20 tip jar donation on the thanks button right here at the bottom. Thank you. And now Neo is talking about Kermit being green. Not that easy being green, including when you're a disc jockey shaking like a leaf in 1977. I remember that. But it wasn't too long till I started to feel confident. But I would lose that confidence when the boss would come in and scream at me as a record was playing. Jeanette Fair, yeah. Hi, Jeanette. Happy birthday. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Jeanette. Karen Phillips, too, huh? Hi, Karen Phillips. Don't mean to miss a soul. I really don't. And how about Rush? You can't find that guy awesome. How about Rush? You can't find that guy awesome. Are you talking about the lead singer of Rush or Rush Limbaugh, who, of course, I find incredibly awesome and miss him every day, like Clay and Buck. And Sean Hannity, who often say this, wouldn't it be nice to have Rush around now to see what he had to say? Hannity said, I would hear him say something and say, why couldn't I have thought of that? Why couldn't I have thought about that? Because there was only one Rush Limbaugh. There's only one Charlie Rose. There's only one Matt Lauer. These are people that we threw away when maybe we should have gotten an apology, and maybe they go through some rehabilitation, like you do if you're an alcoholic, because there's a lot of sexaholics out there, and it's not just the males, but it's predominantly in that area, I guess. How would I know? I'm not a woman. So Donna, I'm glad you're here, Donna. Good for Derby horse racing. Is that tomorrow, Donna? We're running the Derby tomorrow. Yeah. Kentucky Derby. Wow. If that's what you're saying. Jack, next week, April 1st, is opening day at Tiger Stadium, they said. Oh, that's right. You're in Detroit, Motor City. Motown, baby. Yeah. You love your Tigers, do you? I can understand. Well, our Richard knows this. Garrett Cole blew out his arm in spring training. We always have a disaster in spring training. It's like, don't even have spring training because somebody that you paid a lot of money for is going to go down in spring training. So he's out for the year. Tommy John's, perhaps, I guess, right? Surgery needed. And, it's been the same problem since 2009 with the Yankees. You can't just have one good pitcher. You've got to have at least three in your starting rotation. The days of Roger Clemens going to Andy Pettit going to what's the guy he was great unless he was nervous that day. I can't think of his name. And then, of course, the greatest closer in baseball, Mariano Rivera. It's gone, it's gone. And the rule never changes. Great pitching beats great hitting. And then when you get to the World Series and you choke, what am I supposed to say? I'm excited about the new season. I wonder if John will do a few games this year. It was so nice to have him get to do that in the playoffs last year. It would have been nice if he had a win, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. The best team won. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about that? Teresa Williams. Hello, everyone, and happy late birthday, Jack. Hi, Teresa Williams. I forget where you're from. I forget these things. Ouch, 2 funerals in 1 week. So sorry, Brenda. Yes, sorry to hear that, Brenda. And she's feeling a bit better every day. Richard Lyon says Vivian Lee Lyon won't buy Entenmann's too much money. All right. Well, here's the deal, Richard. I'm going to teach you the twos. All right. I want you to write this down, Richard. Put down the cocktail. Put down the Cuban cigar. 2, T-O. I'm going to the market. Too expensive. That's like an exasperation. T-O-O. I need 2 pieces of pizza. T-W-O. There you go. Don't say you never learned anything from me, okay? Okay? We know rich people that live right down there in Florida with you. They, where do they live? I don't know. He used to own a sewer company with many trucks and what have you, up this way somewhere. And he met a real beauty, Spanish woman, and they have a child together. He's older than she is. And but you cannot teach this man the difference in theirs, for example. There she goes, or there he is, or there, a collective there. He'll never in a million years get that. Never. It's like trying to teach pre-recorded versus live, which is what we are now if you happen to be watching the live stream. If not, we've already done it, and you'll find this video in the live section of this channel, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. Now, wait a minute, Richard. With all your money, Entenmann's is too expensive. It did go up. We used to have about 5 miles from me in the town of Goshen, New York, we had an Entenmann's discount place, where Entenmann's that were near expiration date, you could go in and you could buy 3 things for like $7 or $8. 3, you could buy a cake and donuts and whatever 3 things you wanted. They were near expiration. You could buy 3 of them, and all the McFats, I called them. They rolled right in there. They did. Oh yes. what a glorious place for them. Like 3, 4 big rows of everything, the cheese Danish and the cookies and the this and the that. And people, oh my goodness, they'd get like 9 items. They'd roll out with like 9 items of Entenmann's. But when the new owners bought Entenmann's, which what happened about a year ago or so, they closed that shop right away, and it's only full price stuff now. But it just depends how you look at it, Richard. Because if I go to D. Filippi's bakery and get a really nice cake, my God, it's going to cost me $30 now. A cheesecake is going to cost me like 23 if I want toppings on it, 28, something like that, 30. I'm not sure. So, they'll tell you eggs have gone up, eggs have gone up. Hey, we had a bird flu. It's going to take a while to get that under control. I'm not too worried about the price of eggs. And we find deals. We find large brown eggs for $4.99 a dozen. So there have been opportunities to get eggs at a better price. When I see 18 eggs for $11.99 and they're the local ShopRite brand, I say that's a little too much. That's a little too much. Jack, says Brenda, I've always thought that they were made for each other. You're talking about, I assume, Ann-Margret and Elvis. But, it just didn't work out that way. Hey, Jack. Oh, yeah, you told me about that. Was it under mysterious circumstances? Richard sent me a picture. Or no, he didn't send me a picture. He told me about something that I was not aware of as I was preparing other things. That former attorney for Joe Biden was found dead, 43 years old. I really got to get a pair of readers. Let me bring it up this way. Former U.S. attorney found dead in Virginia home at 43. This is from The Hill. Former U.S. attorney for the Eastern District, Jessica Aber, was found dead. This story is relatively new. There she is in between Merrick Garland and the worst head of the, what was he the head of again? FBI, right? No, that's Christopher Wray, Mayorkas. Two of the worst public servants we've ever had. Disgusting. So glad we are rid of them. Can anybody give me an amen? But she was found dead. Richard pointed out she would know a lot of dirt. But James Comer, is his name James, like Comey? Comer, Jim Jordan, and Miranda Devine have thoroughly studied the subject of the Biden money, the Biden crime family. They have done that. And somebody beeping the horn out there. And so they have uncovered enough information. And I think posthumously, they should look into charging the 46th president of the United States. I'm not saying put him in jail. I'm saying that it should be brought out formally. The others have been pardoned by him, but Biden didn't pardon himself. President Trump just took his clearance away, and Kamala's clearance away, and Hillary's clearance away. Now, does Bill Clinton still have security clearance? Because if he does, Hillary does. You know what I mean? But I think that I don't just think that Joe Biden was the worst president in the history of the United States in my lifetime. I think that he committed serious offenses. Serious offenses. So let's see here. Go down. Sara Lee pound cake is very good. You know it is, Ted. Didn't we say that last time? Oh, yes. It's rich and buttery. And Karen's birthday cake that she made yesterday is very, very buttery too. But finding pineapple just seemed like an impossibility. They had it online. Uh, Lucky Leaf, 1 can of pineapple, $20. That's why Todd was around and said that when he hit the Cash App, which by the way is Media Guy 56, MEDIAGUY, lowercase letters 56, lowercase Media Guy 56. When he hit the Cash App for $20, he said it was for pineapple filling, but we didn't have enough time to order it online, you know. So I'll be having a little taste of that in a bit. And that was delicious, but we didn't have it till this afternoon. Karen was having pain issues, as she does, and she went upstairs to take a nap, and I've never seen her sleep so long. I checked on her, and so we decided to have it this afternoon. I'll tell you about the Colonial Diner in the afternoon soon. I have to have a stone 11 millimeters in size removed. Do you, Richard? Sometimes they can crush that. They can go in with, you know, an instrument and crush the stone. They didn't offer that as an option. Well, hi, Jody Smith. She just got off work. What kind of a day was it at work? The Haas. When there's somebody new, I say, oh, I hope they're friendly. Hi, everyone. Hope this finds you all well with the band, the Apaches. We are rehearsing our new stage show before we take out out on our colorful stage show on tour to Europe. We would love to take to the USA any promoter. I think maybe I heard from you once before. You're looking for a stateside promoter. And well, they've got to love what you do, I guess. Now, is your music available on any platforms? I assume YouTube would be the platform. Don't know that you have anything on Spotify. I don't listen to Pandora, so I wouldn't know about them. Put cake closer to screen so I can take a bite, says Richard. Well, Richard, I would love to give you you and Vivian Lee Lyon a cake. I would love to take you to certain key places around here. Love you to come to Summerfest, July 20th in Pine Island. But I don't know. You seem to want to stay where it's 110 degrees. Of course, it could be 110 here, or at least, 95 or something like that. You never know. At some point, it's going to get real hot here. But we're back in the freezer. You'll be happy to know, Richard. 37 degrees right now and windy. And it's only going to be in the 40s tomorrow when I hook up with Polka Sean. Polka Sean, it's a guy's lunch. He's picking me up around 2 o'clock, and we're going to Texas Roadhouse. We're going to Texas Roadhouse for my birthday. So I took him there once, and he fell in love with the place, him and his lovely wife, Norma. But this time it's just a guy's luncheon. And it's just a wonderful experience at Texas Roadhouse. Ted Richards says, geez, must be a special on stones. I found out I may have a gallbladder stone, currently very yellow, and doctor thinks I have one lodged in my biliary ducts. Biliary ducts. Ducks. Not as in duck like quack, quack. Yeah, I was going to ask you for a total update, Richard, because you had a number of things that were going on, right? And I think your heart was included in the mix, if I recall. My kidney stones moved to my lower back and it hurts, says Brenda. 80s, Jack, so sorry. What's that mean? You should come with a concordance. A concordance. Am I saying that right, Richard? Ann-Margret talks about Elvis. She didn't want to. We played part of the interview with Charlie Rose from a number of years ago. Ann-Margret is 83. She will be the thumbnail to this video, everybody. But I'll show you that. Don't have to make you wait. Supposedly, if I got the right weekend, she's in Kansas City tomorrow at Comic-Con. Maybe you can look that up if you're anywhere. And we have a Kansas City viewer. I know. I don't know if she's here right now. But ladies and gentlemen, 83-year-old Ann-Margret. And I saw her promo. She kind of looks like that. Remember when I use my phone? I know it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. And I think she's in Kansas City tomorrow at Comic-Con. So we played part of that interview. She was reluctant to speak.